Let's start with one of the most controversial launches in Assassin's Creed history. Assassin's Creed Unity, released in 2014 with a rough reputation, plagued by bugs and visual glitches that overshadowed its ambition. Over time, patches and updates transformed it into one of the most visually striking entries in the series. Set in revolutionary Paris, Unity delivers an open-world experience that captures the scale and atmosphere of the city in remarkable detail. This open-world action-adventure doesn't mess around. You're not just playing through history, you're living it. And we've spent countless hours getting lost in those cobblestone streets. The parkour system here became pure addiction for us. Every building becomes a playground, every rooftop a highway. We found ourselves spending entire evenings just traversing Paris because the movement feels that satisfying. Unity's assassination missions truly consume your time through planning, observation, and execution. The murder mysteries scattered throughout the city turn you into a detective, and each solved case feeds that just one more mentality that kept us coming back.
Recently, I started.
Speaking of losing track of time, Primal strips away all modern distractions and throws you into the Stone Age. This survival action game creates an entirely different kind of addiction than Unity's urban parkour. No guns, no vehicles, just you, your instincts, and a world that wants you dead. Beast taming becomes the hook that never lets go. That moment when you successfully tame your first saber-toothed tiger? We spent the next 3 hours hunting down every creature we could dominate. Primal's world design is masterful psychological manipulation. Every glowing resource node calls to you. Every unexplored cave might contain rare materials. Every tool, every weapon, every shelter piece requires gathering, hunting, and crafting with your own hands. From prehistoric survival to psychological horror, Hellblade creates addiction through pure emotional intensity. This action-adventure masterpiece doesn't rely on traditional gameplay loops. Instead, it hooks you through Senua's tortured journey and refuses to let your attention waver. The audio design alone will keep you glued to your screen. Playing with headphones transforms the experience into something almost hypnotic. The voices in Senua's head become voices in your head, creating an immersion level that makes pausing feel impossible. Combat encounters are brutal and personal. Each fight feels like a life-or-death struggle, not just button combinations. The puzzle segments challenge your perception of reality, often leaving you staring at environments for minutes, searching for hidden meanings. Hellblade doesn't respect your time. It demands your complete psychological presence. And once it has it, breaking away feels like abandoning someone who needs your help. While Hellblade messes with your mind, Max Payne 3 hijacks your adrenaline receptors. This third-person shooter perfected the art of making you feel like an action movie protagonist, and that power fantasy is absolutely intoxicating. Bullet time never gets old. Every firefight becomes a choreographed dance of death where you're simultaneously the director and star performer. The game's pacing is surgical. Just when you think you can take a break, another setup draws you deeper into Max's downward spiral. The storytelling integration keeps you locked in. Cutscenes flow seamlessly into gameplay, making every chapter feel like the next episode of a Netflix series you're binge-watching. The weapon variety and destructible environments mean every replay offers different ways to paint rooms red, feeding that perfectionist streak that keeps you coming back.
And to move on. Get on with my life.
If Max Payne is an action movie, Metal Gear Rising is pure anime insanity, and this hack-and-slash spectacle fighter is designed to short-circuit your impulse control. Every sword swing, every perfect parry, every blade mode sequence triggers dopamine releases that turn you into a cybernetic ninja junkie. The combo system creates that flow state psychology talks about. Once you start chaining attacks, dodging, and countering in perfect rhythm, stopping feels physically wrong. Boss battles are interactive concerts where you're both conductor and orchestra, and each victory demands an immediate rematch to perfect your performance. Rising's brevity actually intensifies its addictive properties. At roughly 7 hours, it begs for multiple playthroughs. Different difficulties, weapon loadouts, and ranking systems create layers of mastery that competitive players can't resist. Rising's kinetic chaos gives way to Dragon Age's methodical character obsession, and this RPG epic approaches addiction from a completely different angle. Inquisition doesn't rush you, it seduces you into caring about every companion, every political decision, every romantic subplot, until logging off feels like abandoning a second life. The party management system creates emotional investment that transcends typical gameplay mechanics. The war table operations run in real time, even when you're not playing. You're not just managing stats, you're nurturing relationships. Every dialogue choice might unlock new character development. Every gift might deepen a romance. The approval system turns every decision into a complex social calculation. Dragon Age's political intrigue transforms into God of War's emotional depth, and this action-adventure reboot proves that reinvention can create the most powerful hooks. We weren't prepared for how this Norse mythology setting would completely redefine what we thought we knew about Kratos. The Leviathan Axe combat system feels incredibly satisfying in your hands. Every throw, every recall, every perfectly timed combo creates a rhythm that becomes almost meditative. The over-the-shoulder camera keeps you intimately connected to every brutal encounter, making each fight feel personal and weighty. But God of War's real addiction comes from the father-son relationship between Kratos and Atreus. Watching their bond develop organically through gameplay interactions creates emotional investment that goes far beyond typical action games. We found ourselves taking the long route through areas just to hear more of their conversations. The Norse mythology integration provides rich lore that rewards exploration, while the semi-open world design offers enough freedom to satisfy curiosity without overwhelming you with endless objectives.
They're gonna beat us! Keep at them!
God of War's intimate character development explodes into Days Gone's apocalyptic scope, and this open-world survival game weaponizes FOMO like few others. Every radio call might lead to rare loot. Every horde you spot creates an irresistible challenge. Every motorcycle upgrade makes exploration feel more rewarding. Those massive zombie swarms aren't just technically impressive, they create adrenaline spikes that make your heart race even during quiet exploration moments. We spent hours preparing for horde encounters, crafting explosives, planning escape routes, only to get distracted by side missions that themselves became multi-hour rabbit holes. Days Gone's progression systems stack addictive elements like building blocks, bike customization, skill trees, weapon crafting, camp trust levels. Every system feeds into every other system. Completing a mission grants resources that unlock upgrades that make harder missions accessible, that reward better gear, that enables bigger challenges. From post-apocalyptic Oregon to cyberpunk San Francisco, Watch Dogs 2 approaches addiction through technological power fantasy. This open-world action-adventure game makes you feel like a digital god, and that sensation is absolutely intoxicating. The hacking mechanics turn every electronic device into a potential toy. Traffic lights, security cameras, smartphones, cars, everything becomes an extension of your will. San Francisco's recreation is obsessively detailed, filled with photo opportunities, collectibles, and environmental storytelling that rewards exploration. You'll spend hours just experimenting with environmental interactions, creating elaborate chain reactions for no reason other than because I can. The seamless integration of technology into gameplay makes every mission feel like you're starring in a hacker thriller. Watch Dogs' digital playgrounds give way to Lies of P's mechanical nightmares, and this Souls-like action RPG proves that punishing difficulty can be the most addictive drug of all. Every death teaches you something new. Every victory feels earned through genuine skill improvement. Every boss encounter becomes a personal vendetta. The weapon crafting system adds strategic depth that transforms each failure into a learning opportunity. Maybe you need different blade types. Maybe your handle choice affects timing. Lies of P's atmosphere is suffocatingly beautiful. The puppet-twisted Pinocchio theme creates cognitive dissonance that makes every environment memorable. You'll find yourself thinking about boss patterns during real-world conversations, mentally rehearsing dodge timings while doing mundane tasks. It's the kind of game that colonizes your subconscious and sets up permanent residence in your problem-solving processes.
My sweet brother.
Lies of P's mechanical precision dissolves into Vampyr's moral complexity, and this action RPG creates addiction through ethical dilemmas that extend far beyond typical gaming choices. Every NPC represents a potential meal, a moral compromise, a power gain that comes with genuine psychological cost. The investigation mechanics turn every citizen into a mystery worth solving. Learning about their lives, their relationships, their secrets makes the feeding decision genuinely difficult. You'll spend hours talking to every character, not for quest completion, but because understanding their humanity makes the vampire choice more meaningful. Combat rewards patient strategy over button mashing. Every enemy encounter requires tactical thinking, resource management, and timing. The progression system creates meaningful power gaps that make feeding tempting. That annoying boss becomes trivial if you're willing to drain a few innocent citizens. Vampyr doesn't just present moral choices, it makes those choices mechanically advantageous, creating internal conflicts that persist long after you've turned off the console. Vampyr's intimate moral struggles expand into Final Fantasy VII Rebirth's epic scope, and this JRPG masterpiece approaches addiction through sheer content volume and emotional investment. Every system, every minigame, every side quest feels substantial enough to anchor an entire gaming session. The materia system creates strategic depth that makes every battle feel like a puzzle. Party combinations, skill synergies, equipment optimization. There are always new approaches to experiment with. The combat system rewards mastery while remaining accessible, creating that perfect difficulty curve that keeps you engaged without frustrating you into quitting. But Rebirth's real addiction factor is its respect for your emotional investment. These characters matter. Their relationships develop organically through hundreds of small interactions. You'll spend entire evenings just watching cutscenes, exploring dialogue options, and soaking in character moments.
Foresight to bring some exterminators.
Better be Gryffindor!
Final Fantasy's emotional depth transforms into Hogwarts Legacy's pure wish fulfillment, and this open-world RPG taps into childhood dreams so effectively that resistance becomes futile. You're not just playing a Harry Potter game, you're living the wizarding school experience you always imagined. The spellcasting system makes every magical interaction feel authentic. Combat flows like wizard duels from the movies, complete with perfect timing requirements and visual spectacle. Environmental puzzles require creative spell usage that makes you feel genuinely clever when you solve them. The learning curve mirrors actual magical education. You start with basic spells and gradually unlock more complex magic that opens new areas and possibilities. Hogwarts itself is the real star. Every corridor, every portrait, every secret passage rewards exploration with lore, collectibles, or new magical knowledge. The seasonal changes, the living paintings, the responsive architecture create an environment that feels truly alive. You'll find yourself wandering the castle for hours without any specific objective, just because being there satisfies decades of fantasy fulfillment. It's tourism for a place that never existed, but always felt real. Hogwarts' magical escapism grounds itself in Kingdom Come's historical simulation, and this RPG series creates addiction through unprecedented authenticity. Every skill requires practice. Every social interaction follows medieval protocols. Every combat encounter demands actual swordsmanship knowledge. The progression systems mirror real-world learning curves. Reading improves through practice. Sword fighting develops through repetition and failure. Social skills grow through successful conversations and relationship building. This realistic approach creates genuine pride in character development. You're not just unlocking abilities, you're mastering complex systems that require time and dedication. The historical setting eliminates modern conveniences, forcing you to think like a medieval person. Navigation requires landmarks and directions from NPCs. Information spreads through gossip and rumor. Quest solutions demand period-appropriate thinking.
Stop, Mushio, you piece of...
Kingdom Come's historical immersion pivots into Yakuza's contemporary Japanese chaos, and this JRPG reboot proves that addiction comes in many flavors. Like a Dragon doesn't just offer a main story, it presents an entire lifestyle simulator wrapped around a crime drama. The minigame selection is deliberately overwhelming. Arcade games, batting cages, karaoke, kart racing, business management, every activity is fully realized, and could stand alone as its own game. You'll boot up intending to progress the main story, then spend 4 hours managing a restaurant chain because the progression systems are genuinely engaging. The job system creates character-building depth that encourages experimentation. Every party member can master multiple roles, each with unique abilities and stat bonuses. The turn-based combat rewards strategic thinking and party optimization, while the over-the-top special attacks maintain the series' signature absurdist humor. Like a Dragon understands that addiction doesn't always come from intensity. Sometimes it comes from variety, so overwhelming that boredom becomes impossible. Yakuza's urban energy transforms into Death Stranding's meditative isolation, and Kojima's delivery simulation creates addiction through mechanics that shouldn't work but absolutely do. Walking becomes gameplay, patience becomes strategy, loneliness becomes connection. The traversal system turns every delivery into a logistical puzzle. Weight distribution, terrain analysis, route planning, equipment selection. What appears simple reveals layers of depth that transform mundane tasks into engaging challenges. The satisfaction of completing a perfect delivery rivals any boss victory in traditional games. The asynchronous multiplayer creates community without direct interaction. Every ladder you place might help another player. Every road you build contributes to a shared infrastructure. You'll find yourself making deliveries not for rewards, but because other players might benefit from the new routes you establish. Death Stranding's hopeful connectivity darkens into Metro Exodus's desperate survival, and this post-apocalyptic shooter creates addiction through atmosphere so thick you can taste the radiation. Every bullet matters. Every gas mask filter counts precious seconds. Every decision carries life or death weight. The weapon customization system encourages scavenging and experimentation. That broken rifle might become your favorite weapon with the right modifications. Every piece of scrap metal, every chemical component might solve your next survival crisis. The resource scarcity creates genuine tension. Wasting ammunition on a missed shot produces actual stress responses. The open-world levels balance exploration with narrative urgency perfectly. You want to investigate every abandoned building, but staying too long might mean missing story developments or running low on crucial supplies. Metro Exodus creates time pressure without arbitrary countdown timers, making every moment feel precious and every discovery feel earned through genuine risk-taking. Metro's survival desperation culminates in Baldur's Gate 3's narrative freedom, and this CRPG masterpiece represents the final boss of gaming addiction. Every choice matters. Every conversation can branch in unexpected directions. Every character interaction reveals new depth that demands exploration. The dialogue system creates genuine replay value. Different character backgrounds, different party compositions, different moral choices. Every playthrough reveals content you missed previously. The voice acting and motion capture technology makes every conversation feel like a performance worth experiencing multiple times. But Baldur's Gate 3's real addiction factor is its respect for player agency. Want to solve problems through violence? Combat is tactical and rewarding. Prefer diplomatic solutions? Social mechanics are equally developed. Like creative problem solving? Environmental interactions enable solutions the developers never anticipated. The game presents problems but never dictates solutions, creating emergent storytelling that makes every player feel like they're discovering unique content. The romance systems, the companion quests, the moral dilemmas, everything interconnects to create investment levels that transcend typical gaming engagement.
Blood.
These 18 games represent different approaches to the same goal, capturing your attention and refusing to let go. If you're planning to try any of these games, clear your calendar first. Let me know in the comments which one consumed your life, or if you have any other digital time thieves I missed. Don't forget to subscribe for more gaming content that will definitely not help your productivity levels. And remember, the only way to beat gaming addiction is to find games so good that addiction becomes a lifestyle choice. Thanks for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.